Hey everyone, so I am back with another update on just how this YouTube journey is going for me. This is month 3, and I think I can safely say that it's been a fairly surprising month for me. It's had a bigger increase than I was expecting, which is great. And I think Christmas music has a lot to do with that. It's just that time of year where it's more of a narrowed view of music where people are just looking a lot more at Christmas stuff. So I don't know if that trend's going to continue on over the next month or so, but we'll see. We'll see. It's definitely been a good month, and I'm happy about that. But it was more growth than I was expecting and more viewership than I was expecting. So I'm going to walk you through all that. I'm going to show you the analytics as well. But I want to give you sort of just a recap. I did post this video last month. That was the 2-month update, so you can watch that if you want to kind of see where I was at that point. But just to kind of briefly get you up to speed, I was up to that 2-month period. I had been posting videos, long form videos, almost every single day, and little traction. I mean, I was a small starting channel, didn't have following outside of this. It was kind of all just natural and organic, and I think I was around about 100 views a day, which for me was good. Subscriber wise, I think I was at about 36 subscribers at the time, and things are okay. Things are okay, but it was a lot to do that many videos, so I changed it. Which now the current setup of what I'm doing, I have a long form video go out on Wednesdays, Friday, and Sunday every week, and the first two, the Wednesday and Friday, are just like a single cover song, and then the one on Sunday is a longer, just kind of like a set with a few songs together. And some videos I'm doing are also just original music, so it's sort of a mix in there of different things. My viewership has definitely gone up, which is good, and I think doing the shorts, which the last month I had just started doing, has been a huge help. So shorts now I'm doing every single day. I'm putting a short out of just a clip of one of my long form videos, and they seem to be getting a decent amount of traction, usually over 400 views for each one that I put up. There have been a few exceptions, higher and lower, but that's about where it's at. So let's jump over and look at some of the analytics, and you can have an idea of where things have been going for me. So first things first, right off the bat, you can see here that my subscriber count has jumped to 158, which is significant. Like that's 120 more subscribers within a month, and that was a shock to me because I wasn't expecting that sort of jump in that period of time. But it's been great. It's been great to see. And some of that has to do with one in particular video, which I will show you that quickly. It's this one here. You can see over this 2 months, it's had over 2,000 views, which is just been exceptional for my channel. So that video itself, we can kind of take a closer look at that. And you can see it's just been a steady increase from where it started. When it got posted, November 27th, you have like basically no views for the first little bit, and then it just picked up that first day. Like it must have been something people were searching for, and it just kept increasing. It within the first 6 days, it got to about 1,000 views, which was a surprise to me, and then it got to 2,000 views just over 2 weeks. So that was really great, and it's still getting views. So you can see 206 views over the past 48 hours, and it got me 27 new subscribers, which is fantastic. This is definitely an exception to the videos that I'm putting out because my videos typically do not perform this well. But it's great to have one do that. It's definitely an encouragement, and to see that it's not. Most of them you'll see this increase, and then it will plateau and just be a straight line then across instead of continuing to increase. And that's been typical for videos on my channel. But this one here, you can see that it's just continued to increase all the way through, and that's great. That's great to see. Now, I've had another one that came up. That's this one here, and Mary, did you know? And I guess again another one that people are searching for a lot during this time of year. And that one has just had under 600 views to it. We'll take a closer look at that. And that one again, you can see in that first day, it had over 100 views, which again isn't typical of videos on my channel. And then it's just been steadily increasing through that period of time. Not as much as the other video, and it's gotten me 5 subscribers, which is less, but it's definitely outperforming other videos on my channel. So all that's to say, like, I didn't know when I made these videos that these guys were going to be, I didn't do all the research to figure out, people are really looking for this. There's a hole in the market for it, and someone should really make a video to get a ton of views or whatever. That wasn't the thought process. I was just picking songs that I enjoy, and it happened to be one that connected with people, which I prefer more because it's something that's mutual between us. And I think I did speak last time when I did this last month about finding that sort of joy through this process, because it's difficult sometimes. Like you don't always have this kind of experience, and I know that there's other channels that haven't been doing as well as I have in their first 3 months, and it can be a hard process to like just cope with not seeing that traction from the algorithm. And if you're not doing something that you enjoy and you're not able to connect with certain people on this mutual love of what you're doing, it's hard. Like, it's just, you're grinding through and it's not enjoyable, and it won't last. So you need to find how to make your channel enjoyable to you and to enjoy that process. And one of the best things over this past month especially is being able to connect with certain people. Like, I've had a few people who have made multiple comments on my videos, and there's a connection there. You're building sort of a relationship, which isn't typical in my mind of building a relationship online, just hearing people's comments and getting some insight from them. But it's great. Like, there's a person on the other end of that comment who is enjoying what you're doing, and mutually you can enjoy that process. Like, you're putting the work in to get the video done, you're uploading it, you're hoping someone sees it. The person on the other end is finding your video, and they're enjoying it enough to write a comment and connect with you. And that's sort of the goal. So even if you have a smaller channel, even if you're struggling to get views and subscribers, and that's part of the process, there's difficulty there. If you are able to do something you enjoy, if you enjoy the process, if you enjoy making the videos, you're happy to post them and share them with people, and you've got some people connecting with you and saying, hey, this is great stuff. I had a comment from someone like the algorithm needs to push your videos more so more people get to see it. And to hear that from someone is such an encouragement. I mean, even though you don't have a ton of people watching your videos, like, it's good to have a few who really care about what you're doing and really enjoy the content that you're putting out. So aim for that. I mean, try not to be so focused on, I'm making this into something that's going to make me money, it's going to be a side hustle, whatever it is. Like, to really enjoy the process, I think, is important. So I'm doing that. I hope that you're doing that, and that will make it a lot better for you in the long run. So to go back to these analytics here, you can see one of the nice things for me is over the past 48 hours, I hardly ever have an hour period with no views anymore. It gets low sometimes, like 4 or 7 or whatever it is, but typically there's something each hour across the board, even in the morning hours. I can even see here, if you go into some of the views, you see that there's definitely peaks here for some of the shorts that happen, and that's just the algorithm pushing them during those times. But just to see the consistency sometimes of some of these videos, like you still have this Mary's Boy Child, which again is that video I have over 2,000 views on, that pretty much always has some views over the past hour. So that's encouraging to see. How I decided to, like, I played around a bit. I did some experimenting, like I talked about in the last video, and I decided to go with my long form videos I post at 6 a.m. And the reason I did that is because I was in my analytics and I was looking at my audience, and you have this graph here that shows when your viewers are on YouTube. And I did notice that there was some people who, I don't know why that's there. There we go. So there's some people who were actually watching my videos, not in these like wee hours of the morning, at least for my time zone, but I did notice that there were some people who were watching videos around like 7, 8, 9 a.m. And normally I was posting them at noon, so they were waiting till the next day or so to actually watch them. So I was like, okay, let's post them at 6 a.m. and just see how that goes. And I'm actually getting some views on the day that I'm posting videos at that time, and then it seems to pick up throughout the day, which is great. So that was just something, just a trial period that I did where I was posting my long form content at 6 a.m. to see how that goes. And that seemed to be a good adjustment from posting them at like noon or 9 or 10 or wherever I had been posting them before. So that's, that's good to see that actually work. The other thing I did was I played around a bit with my shorts, and I noticed that the best time for them to perform is if I post them at 9 a.m. And the reason is because it seems like no matter how early out I post them, like I can make the short, I can put it there a couple of days before, and it's just waiting to actually like it's scheduled, it's waiting to actually go live. And it seems like the day that it gets posted, it waits a few hours and then the algorithm starts to push it. So normally the algorithm pushes it around like 4 p.m. And I noticed when I switched the time from 9 a.m. to another time later on in the day, it didn't push the video at that same time still, or it didn't get the same amount of viewers if it did. So I moved it back to 9 a.m. and it seems to be performing well there. So my shorts go out at 9 a.m. and my long form content goes out at 6 a.m. And that's been working pretty well for me so far. So this is helpful just to kind of get an idea of where you'd like your videos to sit, and then experiment with that time and see what works. I may change this in the future, I don't know, but for right now that seems to be working for me, so I'm sticking with it for the current period of time. You can also see I don't have so much of those really low viewpoints anymore. Like they pretty much, the lowest I get is around 100, which has been great. And you can see that between the videos, that's the end of November was around 100, and then it's been picking up with the actual views on some of those videos, which is great. So I'm hoping that we keep seeing this trend push up. So, from 100 being the lowest views you see on a day to, 200 or whatever. And that would be great. That would be great to kind of see that happen. Shorts, there's definitely peaks and valleys here because of when they go out. And again, the algorithm seems to take the short and it waits for a couple hours and then it pushes it. Some of them do better than others. I know my original content on the shorts don't seem to do as well because it's having more difficulty, I think, identifying who to push that to. But that's okay because that's sort of the direction I'd like to push in more with my own original content later on. What you can see though is that my shorts have gained 47 subscribers, which again is really great because I hadn't been doing shorts at all earlier on, and I just started that around that 2-month mark. So you can see within a month that almost 50 subscribers have come through posting shorts. Again, I'm doing that every single day, and the majority of it, I would say like 98% of it, is just me taking my long form content and clipping about a minute or less off of it and then posting that as a short with the words on it. So that kind of gives you that idea there. One other thing I did change was off of a comment that I had on my last 2-month update, and that was to change my thumbnails so they were easier to read. And this is something I've been thinking about. I was like, is it hard to read my thumbnails? And I changed them now to try and make them hopefully easier to see what it says. So I've done that, and I've color coded them depending on what kind of video they are for the like playlists and stuff like that. So that I think has been working. I mean, it doesn't seem to be negatively impacting my views, and there's been a few videos that have done better than before. So I'm hoping that that has been part of the improvement, but again, for now, I'll stick with that because it seems to be working. My hope is to see how this goes after Christmas time, because again, making covers is difficult in the sense that, you know, you're not sharing your own content, but it is helpful in the sense that people are already looking for these things and they may find you through that. So because Christmas is so narrowed and focused on just Christmas music, like this time of year, it's been helpful, I think, and I think I have to attribute some of my views and subscribers to the fact that it is Christmas time. But I'm curious to know what that looks like out of Christmas. So my next update will have the tail end of Christmas on it, and it will also then include what happens out of Christmas and see what that looks like. But for right now, I'm pretty excited to see how things have been going. I wasn't expecting it, and hopefully there's a lot more I can update you on the next one. I'd love to hear how you guys are doing on your channels, or if you enjoyed this video, and ultimately I would like to hear too what you want to know, like what if you have any questions. Maybe there's something else specifically in the analytics that you want to see the next time I make one of these videos, and I'd be happy to share as much as I can and help other people out on their journey as well. I know I'm not a big channel, and that's okay, but most of it, my hope is that most of it is for an actual encouragement for other people who are building their channels to see someone else within that same process as well. So let me know. Let me know if there's something you want to see or hear about, or if you have any questions, and I will do my best to answer them for you. So other than that, thank you so much for watching, and I hope that this has been helpful for you and your journey so far with me in all of this YouTube life. So take care of yourself, and as always, love you guys.